about a half-mile offshore, working with a very attractive partner that Marine Land of the Pacific had assigned to me. We'd finished our job, and we'd even found some abalone for our lunch. But I might have known it was all too good to last. When we surfaced, a visitor was waiting for me aboard the boat.
Mike Nelson, I presume. I'm Lewis Hale. This is a real pleasure.
Miss Edwards.
Hi.
Hello.
Where's your diving line? The rest of your gear?
Well, I run a skin dive. I wear this to keep in condition.
You mean you swam all the way out here?
Well, sure, that's not far.
I'd say it was pretty far, especially swimming alone.
Which brings me right to my point. I need a partner, you. It'd be a lot of fun.
I have a lot of fun with my job now.
Well, if my calculations are right, there'd be a lot of money in the deal, too.
I'll make enough money. I'm perfectly satisfied.
Well, would you like to at least hear my proposition?
All right, let me haul in my net first, huh? We'll talk about it on the way in.
No, I'm gonna swim in. I need the exercise. I'll see you on the beach.
Now what's he trying to prove?
Ten minutes later, we were tying up at the Marine Land dock.
I'll get on the beach and get rid of mussels as fast as I can.
Okay, Mike, I'll have lunch ready when you come back.
I feel great. That was a great swim.
Yeah, you're quite a swimmer, aren't you?
Only fair. Judo's a sport I really like. Did you ever try it? Huh?
Oh, a little.
Really? Let's have a go at it. Come on.
Hey, wait a minute. I thought you wanted to talk.
Sure, we can talk and have a little workout.
Let's talk first.
One for me. Mike, what would you say if I told you I hold the key to $1 million worth of sunken treasure?
I'd say that's fine, and that you don't need me. That's one for me.
Very good, Mike. There are 3 reasons I need you. 1, I'm not a diver. That you could teach me. 2, you've got a boat. 3, an underwater operation for one man alone is too risky. Besides, there's enough money in this deal for a whole regiment. Oh, what do you say?
Sunken treasures for kids. Right now I'm working on something scientific, and that suits me fine.
But, man, the deal I'm talking about is scientific. Scientific research. The gold is only an incidental byproduct. Hey, Mike, tell me, have you ever heard of Alfred Wegener and his theory on the moving continents?
No.
Well, Wegener's dead now. He froze to death on an expedition up in Greenland, a great loss to modern geology.
Too bad. Just what has Wegener's theory got to do with your proposition?
Well, Wegener established, by actual measurement, that all land masses are in constant motion, partially because of the centrifugal force generated as the Earth whirls through space. For instance, the ancient Egyptian pyramids, they're actually miles from where they were first erected. The Strait of Gibraltar is 3 times wider than it was, say, well, in ancient days. And America is 40 or 50 feet, as I understand it, farther away from England as recently as, say, 1920. These land movements are going on today. Intriguing, isn't it?
Fascinating. You through with your little workout now?
Oh, Mike, don't be sore. It was all in fun. What I'm really trying to say is that many long-sunken ships have moved from their original positions, and this bears out Wegener's theory.
A lot of other factors to be taken into consideration, too, you know, like specific gravity, ocean currents.
Very good, Mike, but I'm a mathematician. And all this data would go into my calculations, which I would feed into my computer.
Computer?
Yes, I have a portable one.
Who ever heard of a computer leading you to a sunken ship?
No one. But you see, this is my own secret invention. Well, are we in business?
Are you willing to give me a little demonstration of this computer of yours?
Oh. What kind of a demonstration?
I was afraid that I went down here right offshore about around 1897. Her bearings are well known to everybody, but no one's been able to locate her. There's nothing of value on it, but it might prove a point. You want to try it?
Well, you give me the correct data for my machine and I'll find it. And if I don't, I'll give up. How's that?
If you do, you got yourself a partner.
Let's shake on it.
Oh, you don't. Last time I did that, you almost broke my neck. How about having lunch with me instead, huh?
All right, that's a deal. I'll get my flippers and be right with you.
Morning.
Morning. Excuse me. Thank you. Well, Mike, this end goes into the water. This feeds directly into the box. That way, the data is fed directly into the machine.
Oh, that's quite a gadget. Now, look at that machine of yours.
I'm sorry, Mike. I'm afraid your curiosity is going to have to remain unsatisfied. You see, the best years of my life went into developing that machine. And nobody's ever going to have a good look at it. That goes for you too, partner.
You mean I never will be able to see it?
No. I'm sorry. Well, I'm ready to shove off whenever you are. Follow a course that'll take us to the general area where the freighter went down. By that time, I should be ready to take over.
So we moved out to sea. If I'd known what was waiting for me, I'd never have left the dock.
What's your heading?
North by northeast.
Reduce speed.
All right.
Slower, slower.
Hey.
Stop and reverse engines. Cut her off and drop anchor. You know, if that data you gave me is correct, that freight ought to be right about here. That's 300 feet east of her last known bearings, according to my machine.
It's about 80 feet to the bottom. I'll get my gear on and go down and see what's there. If anything.
Thank you for the vote of confidence. I gather you don't think you're going to find anything.
A lot of good men have tried and failed. And that freighter's been on the bottom for over 60 years.
If you keep your eyes open, you'll find something. I'll give you a hand with your stuff.
A few minutes later, I was searching along the bottom. I was sure that I was wasting my time. Then I found the anchor chain. I touched it, sighted along it. I looked up, and there was the freighter. I've never been as surprised as I was at that moment. A man with a theory and a gadget had found something that other men had been hunting for years. I headed for the surface, and my partner at once.
That machine of yours is pure magic. And you're a ringtail magician.
Forget the hero worship, Mike. Starting tomorrow, I'm your pupil. When you find those barges and the gold that's in them, I want to be right there with you.
Good enough. We'll start those skin diving lessons the first thing in the morning.
Hale was an athlete. There was no doubt about that. He learned faster than anyone I'd ever instructed before. But I had a feeling that he wanted to get along without me. If so, he'd be making a big mistake. 90 feet is an awful lot of water, and there are no safe shortcuts to the surface. Suddenly, there was a cave in front of us. I motioned for him to stay out of it, but he went in anyway. I heard the noise when his air tank hit the rock and his air was cut off. By the time I reached him, he was unconscious. Waste any time hauling him out of there and turning on his air valve, but it was still a lot too close for comfort. Another 10 seconds, and he would have been dead. When I got him aboard, he was barely breathing. Hale had swallowed a lot of water. The flicker of life seemed to be there. I coaxed. I pleaded. Slowly, rhythmically, working into exhaustion.
Breathe. Oh, come on. Come on, boy. Breathe. 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 Breathe, boy. Come on. Come on. Fella.
My efforts paid off. He was coming around. A sniff of ammonia could do the trick.
I thought you were trying to get into my...
Here, you take it.
Mike, you saved my life. I'll never forget that.
Just do what I tell you to do when we're underwater. And if something goes wrong, don't panic.
I did panic, didn't I?
And you almost killed yourself.
That's never gonna happen again.
Hale had the strength of a bull. By the following morning, he was fully recovered, and we were heading out toward the sunken barges. Barges loaded with gold and lost beneath the sea for well over 100 years. The barges had broken loose, collided, and gone down over 40 miles off the coast. If Hale's general theory was correct, the ocean bottom had moved on, and so had the barges. While we headed for the general area, Hale went through his routine of taking sights and fixes and reducing them to mathematical equations for his machine to digest. Hale had a busy routine, but I was beginning to get the funny feeling that a lot of it was strictly for my benefit. When we got close to the target area, Hale stayed with the computer right up until the time that he told me to drop anchor. got into our underwater outfits and started the search. We searched the sea bottom until our air reserve was almost gone, but we found no signs of the wrecked wooden barges and their cargo of gold. What we did find was a number of jettisoned oil drums, metal ones, and very definitely of the 20th century. Was disappointed, but I was disturbed by what might possibly have been just a peculiar coincidence. Those oil drums were metal, and so was the freighter that we'd found. There was something that didn't seem right to me, and I was determined to find a few minutes alone for a look at Hale's mysterious machine.
I can't understand it.
Maybe your machine just goofed.
My machine never makes mistakes. The data I fed into it must have been wrong. I'd better recheck my figures.
I awakened early the following morning. Hale was still asleep. This could be my chance to have a look into that sea chest. I reached for his keys.
Morning.
Good morning.
Oh, gotta get going, don't you think?
Yeah. You're up early.
Today's the day, isn't it?
That's right, partner.
Hale made some new computations, and we were on our way again, trying to find the sunken treasure barges.
Cut engines and drop anchor right here.
Plan, and it worked. I suggested to Hale that we split up, search in different directions, and then rendezvous back at the boat. This gave me my chance. First objective was the drift meter hanging from its cable beneath the boat. be anything unusual about it until I turned away. Then it almost seemed alive as it leaped at my metal tank and clung to it. There was no doubt about the powerful magnetism the gadget was emitting. No matter how I turned my compass, the needle pointed toward it. Now I knew that Hale had lied to me. His machine was not a computer. Hale's whole routine had been phony from start to finish. What he called a computer was really a very sensitive detector of metallic objects. The lettering on the device made it plain that Hale was a thief, if not worse. It was designed for anti-submarine warfare, not for treasure hunting, and he'd stolen it from the research laboratories of the U.S. Navy. I had to contact Naval Intelligence, and fast. In the meantime, Hale had found the barges, and he'd sent up a marker boy. Hey, it's nothing.
Well, I found it. We're rich, man. Rich! Oh, what's the matter, Wattage?
Take it easy now, huh? We're in enough trouble as it is.
The other one was in trouble.
In my backyard for a change of thunder.
Hale was a muscle man, but he couldn't stay underwater as long as I could. When I hauled him back aboard, he was out cold. When the copter arrived to pick up Hale and his stolen gadget, I lit a flare for them. I felt like I was back in the Navy again. It felt good.
Hello there. I'm Lloyd Bridges. You know, 3/5 of the world is covered by the sea. And how little most of us know about that underwater world. Go below with us again next week, huh? For another thrilling adventure in Sea Hunt.